Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm James from Our Nature, and we're welcoming to this event, which is dedicated to the 7 organisations from the UK that took part in our Companion for Life call for projects, and will receive a share of £45,000 in funding. Our Nature was one of the first companies in Italy in 2018 to transform itself into a benefit corporation, changing its corporate purpose and making this solid in its articles of association, from the pursuit of wealth to a series of common benefit objectives, including Companion for Life. Since 2019, Companion for Life has promoted a vision of the relationship between humans and dogs and cats, aiming to shift from the concept of ownership to one of responsibility, while fostering greater respect for the unique characteristics of our animal companions. This work takes place on multiple levels. One of these initiatives has been the Adopt Me and Love Food Bank programme, supporting emergency responses, people in severe circumstances and environmental disasters. Thanks to these efforts, more than 5.2 million meals have been donated in exchange for adoptions that have been facilitated by associations managing shelters and animals. This project not only aims to drive cultural change, but also delivers tangible results through operations, drawing its strength from the dedication of those who work to make this vision a reality, particularly non-profit organisations, charities and community interest companies. The Call for Projects initiative will provide a total of £45,000 to organisations in the UK, but it's been part of a much larger effort across Europe. The Call for Projects was mirrored in 6 countries throughout the EU, with a total of £325,000 being shared among 49 associations. The Call for Projects began in the UK back in April, as we invited associations to submit proposals to receive a share of £45,000 to help advance the well-being of cats and dogs. We received a great many submissions, and from those, 26 projects between June and October of this year were shared with our community so people could learn about them, discover more, and then vote for the ones that mattered most to them to receive some funding. This evening, we'll be introducing the 7 most voted for projects that will receive funding. With the Companion for Life call for projects, Our Nature aims to support associations that share these values and translate them into action, from conscious adoption campaigns, sterilisation programmes, to family support, education and awareness initiatives. Let me now introduce them to you, starting with the 7th place winner. Each organisation will have around 3 minutes to share their work and a little bit about their projects. If you have any questions about a specific project, please, you can ask immediately after they've finished. But we'll now start with the 7th place association, which will be receiving £3,000 due to having received 1,070 votes. It's Refuge for Pets, who tonight are presented by Mary.
Thank you, James. First of all, I'm just going to show a very brief animation, if that's okay, because this will let you know what we do a bit better than I could tell you. So, Alfonso, I don't know if we can have the animation. It's just a minute long, so it's really quick.
My best friends. But life wasn't good at home. Dad was always angry. He would shout a lot and often hurt us. I was always frightened. He used Billy and Charlie to control us. One day, it got so bad that Mum said we needed to leave quickly and stay at a refuge, but we were not able to take Billy and Charlie with us. Luckily, a friend of Mum's had mentioned Refuge for Pets, who could look after Billy and Charlie. Refuge for Pets were amazing, sending us updates and photos. It was such a comfort to see that they were safe. But the best day was when Mum and I moved into our new home. Billy and Charlie were allowed to come back and stay with us. Refuge for Pets, helping people and animals escape domestic abuse.
So we recently supported Chloe, her mum and her animals. So what we do, we foster animals for victims, survivors of domestic abuse. So when families need to escape to safety, we know they often will not take their animals with them because of that human-animal bond that we've already spoke about. So we foster animals temporarily until families go into safe accommodation and they can be reunited with their animals. So we cover Devon and Cornwall in the southwest of England. Each year we will support around 150 victim survivors of domestic abuse to escape to safety by fostering well, actually, it's 100 families escaping to safety by fostering 150 animals, mostly dogs and cats. And animals are cared for by our wonderful volunteer foster carers right across Devon and Cornwall with support from our small team. It's really, really important. Haven't got time to go into detail, but domestic abuse is one of the most significant public health concerns that we experience globally and in the UK. You know, it's all around us. And when we think about the fact that there are animals in 60% of all UK households, there are a lot of animals living in households where there's domestic abuse. And animals are victims of domestic abuse too. We know that perpetrators will exploit the bond that we have with our animals, and they will use animals, they will abuse animals to coerce and control their families and ultimately trap them in that relationship. So that's why we're here, and that's why we do what we do. And thank you, Almo Nature, because this funding will help us to keep doing what we do. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Mary. And it is all the associations tonight have got very important places, and these stories are ones that are important to hear. So thank you very much. Thank you, and we look forward. And this is just the start of the journey, and we'll hear more from you, definitely. As we move on, unfortunately, the organisation that was in 6th place, the Lost Dog Trapping Search and Rescue Network team, unfortunately aren't able to be here. They will be receiving £4,000 worth of funding and received 1,112 votes. We've got a small video of theirs that they've presented us with. It's about one of their rescued dogs, Marley, which shows his journey from rescue to where he is now. And while that plays, we'll read a small summary of what they've provided. So the Lost Dog Trapping Team is a dedicated group of volunteers working across the north of England and North Yorkshire to reunite missing dogs with their owners. In recent years, their work has increasingly focused on rescuing abandoned and stray dogs, often found in extremely remote areas where they've clearly been abandoned and left to fend for themselves. Many of them arrive in poor physical and psychological condition, suffering from skin problems, matted fur, dental and eye issues, injuries, and in the case of some female dogs, gland sores, which are most likely caused by overbreeding. Because these dogs struggled in local kennels during the statutory 7-day period after rescue, members of the Lost Dog Trapping Network take them to their home, providing safe, quiet spaces to recover. Volunteers administer necessary treatment, nurture the dogs with care and patience, and give them the time they need to learn to trust again. Most dogs require initial medical attention, including spaying or neutering, flea, worm, lice and tick treatments, dental work and skin care. Beyond the medical treatment, the team supplies essentials such as beds, bedding, cleaning products, nutritious food, treats, toys, collars, harnesses and leads. Many of these items, including favourite blankets and toys, accompany the dogs as they go on their journey and are placed in their new permanent homes for loving families. The Lost Dog Trapping Team fundraises to cover these costs, and the money they'll be receiving from Almo Nature will make a tremendous difference, being used exclusively to help dogs currently in their care. The team continues its work tirelessly, prioritising the health and welfare of these defenceless and voiceless dogs and ensuring that they receive the treatment, care and love they deserve. And this was Marley's story, and he's one of the dogs that was found by them and rescued and is now progressing and going on to have a better life thanks to the Lost Dog Trapping Team Search and Rescue Network. And as we'll see with all these associations tonight, they've got, every one of them has got a really heart-touching, heartwarming story. So now we move on to our 5th place, Cats Rescue Gloucestershire in Swindon. They will be receiving £5,000 and received just over 1,129 votes. And sharing their story tonight will be Donna.
Hi everybody, I'm Donna from Cats Rescue Gloucestershire. This is Sally and we've got Becky behind the camera. So first of all, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that voted for us and for this opportunity. So a little bit about our rescue. There are 18 volunteers in our rescue, so we're actually quite small. Our rescue was set up 4 years ago and we became a charity 2 years ago. The aim for our charity is that we go out and we help the unowned cats, the cats that are injured, the cats that have been born wild, the cats that live under decking, live in bushes, live in rabbit warrens we've had recently. So we go out, we get those injured cats and we bring them in, we do all of the vet stuff with them and we rehabilitate them. They then go into foster, which is where all the hard work begins. All the fosterers try and tame all of the kittens and that kind of thing. So we currently have 38 cats in our care, but we get overwhelmed by the amount of requests for help from the members of the public. So space for us is a major issue. So this here, I'll get out of the way, is my garden room. If you have a look, we had this built about 18 months ago. It's fully insulated. It's got heating in there, obviously lighting. There are 7 kittens in this room at the moment. So the money that hopefully has been raised will go to a second garden room, which will be at Sally's house. And I will hand over to Sally and she can talk you through her room.
So the plan is to build a fully insulated garden room, which is 3.3 metres by 1.6 metres. And on top of that, we're going to add on a 3-metre catio with a roof. The ideal behind that is that the garden room is a safe, warm environment. It's got big windows, so it's nice and bright. There'll be some cat trees, tunnels, etc. And then if they want to go outside into the catio, again, it's a safe environment to go outside. It's going to have shelves on the wall, lots of enrichment. And the ideal behind all of that, of course, it's going to be a really good size, which will help us to rescue and save more cats.
So what I'm going to ask Becky to do is to move backwards, and I'm going to come with you, so I can show you the outside, because it's actually quite big. So this is what it looks like outside. It's 3.5 metres by 2.5. And then Sally is going to have this a little bit smaller, but with a great big catio here as well. So yeah, so that is our project for you.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that and for showing us as well. It's really good to see. Thank you. That's the team at Cats Rescue Gloucester. Again, you'll be hearing more from them as we monitor their journey and see how things are going for the cats in their care. Next up tonight will be Nowzad Charity, who came in 3rd place, receiving £7,000, and they had over 1,400 votes, 1,411. And to share their story tonight is David. Oh, I don't know if we're having a slight issue with David. Oh, so yeah, so we've got we're gonna go slightly ahead, and and we'll be joined by David to explain a little bit about what's going on for Nowzad.
Good evening, James, and thank you everybody for watching tonight. Well, basically, Nowzad, if anybody doesn't know, we are a charity that was formed over 18 years ago and solely operate in conflict zones. Most people will probably know of us for our operations in Afghanistan, although when out on the road, we quite often ask people if you know of Nowzad, and the common response is no. When we mention back in 2021, when there's a certain gentleman, Pen Farthing, in the news for getting all the animals out of Afghanistan, that seems to hit now on the head, and people really do remember who we are. Once we come out of Afghanistan, we thought that was the end of our operations. Fortunately, we're still operating in Afghanistan, but then unfortunately the war kicked off in Ukraine. That was a call for us to get into action again. So we have got our own warehouse out in the Ukraine. We have our own country manager, and we distribute in the region of 10 tons to 20 tons worth of food per month. We've also built kennels out there. I've been out there to shelters where they have no facilities, and we've taken a lot of kennels out there and we've helped build them, in some cases quite close to the front line with Russia. We have also noticed that there will be and is a big need for a TNVR program. Hence, that's why we applied for this the money, and it will be used to help kit out the mobile clinic. We have bought a NHS ambulance, and that will be fully kitted out as a mobile veterinary clinic. Because at the end of the day, if the war was to finish tomorrow, which we would hope for, but let's be realistic, it will not happen. Eventually, rabies will become possibly the biggest killer in the Ukraine. So hence, with this money, we will help to, we'll go out and spay the animals, trap them, vaccinate them, neuter them and release them. So it will help immensely with animal welfare out in Ukraine. And I say thank you to everybody who voted for Nowzad. That is, you know, we can get this project well underway now. We have the ambulance, with the funds that we're receiving from yourselves, we'll be using this to start the kit out very soon. So thank you very much.
No problem at all. And thank you for sharing your story, David. And apologies for the confusion. That was my mistake entirely. I should have gone to Kiki's Hope next. So thank you for jumping in, and thanks for sharing. And as with everybody, we'll learn more as the process develops. We'll now go back to Kiki's Hope for Animals, which was my mistake entirely. Kiki's Hope came 4th place, receiving £6,000 with 1,192 votes, and representing them tonight is Anna Louise and Prue.
Okay, I've just heard, good evening everyone, by the way, I've just heard Prue's just accidentally taken herself out and she's the one with the speech. So if you just bear with us a minute, she'll just get herself back in to the room.
I don't know if you want, is there anything you wanted to do or did you want to wait for Prue? Oh, she's back.
Hopefully she's there. There she is. There we go. Just in time.
Apologies for that. Okay, thank you, James. Okay, so I'm here representing Kiki's Hope for Animals along with our main director, Anna Louise Trumbull. We want to start by thanking James and the Animal Nature team for the opportunity to bid on this grant as part of the Companion for Life call for projects. And we also want to congratulate all the other winners and the obviously very worthy causes. We are a small rescue with a big heart. Some might say too big a heart, given the number of animals under our care right now. We rescue in several Balkan countries, but our work is primarily based in Serbia, where we have a base and a team on the ground. We began our work back in 2013 when we realised that rescuers in these countries are almost entirely reliant on the financial support and adoption opportunities that Northern Europe and the UK can offer. I would like to say that we have seen improvements over this period of time, but sadly the problem has become exponentially worse and not better. The number of abandoned animals is higher than we've ever seen, and cruelty cases are constant and never fail to shock. There is a tidal wave of misery that seems unstoppable at times, and we know that the only long-term solution is going to be a significant change of attitude when it comes to spaying and neutering animals. Many people in the rural areas in particular have deeply embedded beliefs that tells them that it's unnatural to prevent their cat or dog having babies, but that it's perfectly acceptable to kill those babies by drowning them, putting them on the streets, or perhaps even worse, to abandon them in the middle of the countryside where they will starve to death, or even throw them on a rubbish tip like discarded trash. Then there is the suffering of the adult cats and dogs, abandoned onto streets, often have previously been family dogs. They face so many terrible risks: poisoning, shooting, being deliberately hit by cars. The cruelties are endless. Now there's even talk of hunters being given free rein to shoot animals on the streets, and the hated government is allegedly considering new laws to allow kill shelters to kill dogs without a veterinarian being present. In Serbia, we have been on the front line of this pain and suffering for too many years. The locals have been the source of a majority of animals that have been dumped at our gates, and it's too much to cope with. We need to start turning back the tide of misery and start encouraging kind and responsible pet guardianship. With this money that we are so proud to have been allocated, it's our intention to work with our team and other trusted rescuers, reach out to pet owners who are struggling to afford to spay and neuter, and help them as well as rounding up cats and dogs that our teams regularly feed on the streets. We also hope to work with local rescuers in initiating educational programs to help people understand the importance of spaying and neutering, along with help on how to better care for their pets. It will take a generation or two to make significant changes to the lives of animals in Serbia, but a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. We want to wrap up things tonight by thanking Alma Nature once again for this wonderful opportunity. We want to thank all our supporters who so kindly voted for us. And last but not least, we want to thank our fabulous team. I know this is going to be a bit like Oscar night, but we would like to thank Wendy, Kevin, Eve, Joanna, Maria, Nigel, Sheila, Lynn, Rosemary, Tina, Janet, Nicola, Louise, and an extra special thank you to the fantastic Joe Hardy, who worked so phenomenally hard to make this happen. Thank you again.
No, thank you, Prue, and thank you, Anna Louise. And it's a real testament, another example of just how startling some of the stories are of what goes on, and how without organisations and associations doing something, the situation would be much worse. So thank you, and thank you to everybody in your organisation and everybody that voted for you. It's really important, and it does matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
So then this takes us on to our second place, which is the Newcastle Cat and Dog Shelter. They will be receiving £9,000 of funding with just over 1,500 votes, and representing them tonight is Rachel.
Thanks, James. So yeah, we're Newcastle Dog and Cat Shelter. I'm Rachel, the General Manager. So we were awarded the £9,000, which is amazing. So I'll tell you a little bit about us. So as I say, we're based in Newcastle. We do work with the local dog wardens in Newcastle, North Tyneside and Northumberland. So we do get around 400 dogs each year coming into our care that way, around 300 cats. So we try to reunite animals with the owners, but we do also have animals coming in who are neglected, unwanted. So what we then need to do is get that animal to the point where we can rehome them. We've got a vet room on site, so all of our animals get checked by our brilliant vets, Blytheman and Partners. So they visit us 3 times a week. You can imagine that's quite a lengthy vet visit with the amount of animals that we have in our care. The room that we've got currently, it's suffering from extensive damp, so it's not ideal for the animals, our team members or the vets. So this money is just amazing. So out of the £9,000 we've been awarded, £6,000 of that is going to do, so we can complete the damp proofing. We're going to get all the outside walls pointed. We are a big old farm, so old buildings which have just been underinvested for all the years. We've also got the remainder of the £9,000, £3,000, which was going to go towards our vet bills. These are currently in excess of £10,000 a month. So this does really help. So this funding, we will get the damp proofing done. We're going to repoint. We're going to clad the room so it's very easily cleaned for infection control purposes. So again, really important. So yeah, we're just delighted that we're going to be able to undertake these works. So yeah, thank you to Almo, Companion for Life Call, and a massive thank you to all of our supporters who've gotten behind this.
Fantastic, thank you, Rachel. It's really interesting to hear, and thank you. I know that everyone here has your story and your association meant something to a lot of people, and they chose to vote for you. So it's your work that touched them. So thank you very much for sharing some details of it tonight. And then we're finally brought on to our first place winner, who will be receiving £11,000 of funding with almost 1,800 votes, and that is Protected Paws Animal Rescue, who I know is especially represented by Kerry tonight.
Hello.
Hello. And you've been feeling under the weather, so thank you very much for joining us.
That's all right. I've got a bit of a cold, but yeah, that's fine. So yeah, my name's Kerry. I'm the founder of Protected Paws Animal Rescue. I'm also a veterinary nurse. Firstly, it's an honour to be here. Thank you, Almo Nature, for recognising our work. Protected Paws is a volunteer-run, foster-based rescue working around London. In less than 3 years, we've helped over 3,000 animals, mostly cats, dogs, foxes, hedgehogs, ferrets, and other species, domestic and wild. We rescue them from abandoned, and some are injured, elderly, and a lot are forgotten. Every one of them has been given safety, medical care, and a second chance. We operate a zero euthanasia policy, and the only time we let an animal go is when there truly is no other treatment options left. And even then, we make sure the final moments are filled with love and comfort. When a patient needs something beyond our facilities, we refer them to trusted specialists, because our goal is always to do what's best for the animal, no matter what it takes. This award from Almo Nature will help make a massive difference. The funding will go towards veterinary equipment that will allow me as a veterinary nurse to carry out essential procedures and treatment options, especially in foster homes. That means we can treat animals where they feel safest, reducing the stress for those who have already experienced probably a lot of trauma. It will reduce the need for stressful clinic visits and allow us to do safer handling and recovery in the right and a more familiar environment. With this support, we'll be able to respond faster, ease pain sooner, and help more animals heal both physically and emotionally. To everyone at Almo Nature, thank you for believing in what we do. You're not just funding equipment, you're helping us bring professional veterinary care directly to the animals who need it the most, and in a calm and comforting, loving home. On behalf of all our volunteers, foster carers, and thousands of paws that we've helped, and you're helping us carry on protecting, thank you. And thank you for helping us turn compassion into action and giving even more animals the chance they truly deserve.
Amazing. Thank you, Kerry. Well, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for sharing more details. We're really grateful.
Thank you.
And so that brings all the 7 associations to your attention. I think the clear thing tonight is that behind them all, despite circumstances that are very difficult, are people that are truly passionate and care and want to help improve the lives of animals and make it better for them. So we're truly grateful to them all for taking place, and we're really grateful to everyone from the community for choosing to vote. There were 26 associations. Unfortunately, not all of them could be in the top 7, but no matter where any of them placed, they were all providing vital work that is essential, and we thank them for taking part. And we thank you for taking part and voting. It's really what made this possible, and so thank you very much. We're going to wrap up there now. If we haven't had any questions, which I think shows that hopefully the stories have all been straightforward and everybody's told you something new, and that we'll be able to watch the progress of as we progress. These 7 associations you'll be hearing a lot more from as we see what's happening and update you on developments, sharing the stories and the improvements that they're making and how they're improving the lives of animals. That's it from us all. Everyone at Almo Nature is truly grateful to everyone who voted, every association that took time to submit a project and go through the process of sharing it and voting it. Everything is appreciated, and it does make a difference. No matter where your associations ended, no matter where the association's placed, it was important. It shared your story, and it hopefully brought more attention to the work that you're doing, and also the work that is still needed to be done to help protect, support, and improve the life of animals. That's it from everyone at Almo Nature. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you to the associations, and thank you to everyone that took part and voted. Good night.